Hello, my name is Maya Block, and I served in the Peace Corps from 2016 to 2018 in Cameroon as a science education volunteer. And I wanted to tell you a little bit about pre-service training, also known as PST. It's the first 3 months of Peace Corps before you're actually really a Peace Corps volunteer, and it was one of my favorite times in service. During PST, you have the chance to be able to study safety in the country, how to be secure, how to avoid being in dangerous situations. A lot of it seems like common sense, but a lot of it is also very culturally specific, and so it's very important for our safety. A lot of safety issues do come up while we're in service, and so it's important to know who's the right person to contact, how to avoid getting into dangerous situations. So we also talked a lot about health. We talked about food, like what foods to eat, what foods not to eat. For example, don't eat street food in general, especially street meat or milk products. To be honest, a lot of us volunteers still ended up eating a lot of the street food, but it didn't always end up very, very well for all of us. but we take those risks in the name of also the experience. So that was also something that we learned about. We learned also about the water, for example, all the organisms that might live in the water and why it's important to drink the filtered water. Peace Corps provides you with a filter in Peace Corps if you're in a country that especially is not known for having especially clean water in certain areas. And so just to be safe, they provide you with a means to be able to make your own clean water. We learned a lot about the culture as well. And so that was kind of where it got a little more exciting. We talked a lot about how our culture was different from the culture in Cameroon. All of our trainers as well, for the most part, were locally hired from Cameroon, and they came from all different parts of Cameroon and were able to talk about their own specific culture. Cameroon is very special. It's called Africa in miniature sometimes, because it has so many different cultures, so many different languages, over 260 languages. It's an amazing country. And so we really were able to explore that a little bit, and compare with some of the other volunteers and the other trainers who were there as well. And we also talked, of course, about technical training. For me as an education volunteer, we talked about different pedagogy practices. We talked about how to maintain a class that was a really large size. In Cameroon, classes can be up to 100, maybe even 200 at times. I don't think anybody had 200, but they get really large. And so we talked a lot about classroom management and the differences between a Cameroonian classroom and an American classroom, and how to be able to still kind of practice a lot of the techniques that we do in American classrooms, or at least that we try to do in American classrooms, that are more student focused, and that was really interesting to try and practice. We even had a mini summer school during that time. So a lot of the local kids enrolled and they came to our class, and it was kind of a mock Cameroonian classroom, a little bit smaller size, and we practiced teaching some of the actual Cameroonian curriculum and had a chance to work with the kids, practice speaking slowly and clearly, although they do speak English there, but our accents are very different. And so a lot of the children had trouble understanding us at times at the beginning. So that was a really awesome way to be able to practice. And then we also learned about the language. And so Cameroon speaks two different languages officially, French and English. And so in the English speaking region, they actually mostly speak Pidgin English, which is slightly different from regular English. And so I had lessons in both English and in Pidgin English. Some of the people going to the North regions, they had even other lessons in other local dialects. So very exciting to be able to learn and to be able to also practice while we were in our village. And I stayed with a host family. And so my host family, they all spoke English, but they also spoke some Pidgin. And so I had the chance to practice a little bit with them. And I bonded a lot with them, learned about local food. local dance and music from them. I made a lot of friends actually within the village during the free time that we had. Although we did have a curfew and we didn't have a whole lot of time to get out, I still found a way to be able to make friends in that village, and that was really special. So I made a lot of really great memories during that time, and yeah, it's one of my fondest memories of Peace Corps, to be quite honest. Just coming to Cameroon and discovering all the new things and all the different aspects of the cultures there. So it can be a little bit stressful and at times a lot more quick paced and a lot of things to learn all at once. But once you get into village, you realize all those things, why they were useful, and you get to really start applying it. Um, so yeah, if you join Peace Corps, I hope you have a better understanding now of what PSC is all about, and I hope you really enjoy it. All right. Nice to meet you all. Have a great day.